Chapter 7. The next morning, Barry and the children were ready to be on their way back, while Johannes was getting the villagers prepared. After saying goodbye, they left for the city of Serabia. Jude said to the group, "Do you think Sidero will be waiting for us?" "Yes," said Timmy. "We must be ready when Johannes and the villagers arrive. If we can, we must get into our secret hideout until Johannes and the villagers arrive," said Jade. "Secret hideout?" asked Barry, puzzled. "Yes," said Joseph. "We go there to have our secret meeting, to keep hidden from Sidero's guards who patrol the streets." "How will we make it to the hideout?" asked Barry. "Once in the city, we must keep in the shadows of the city buildings," said Jade. "From there, we must quietly continue until we find a medium-sized shack that has a good place to hide," said John. "From there, we can wait until Johannes and the rest of them arrive to help us," said Stephanie. "Let's get through the valley and the forest so we can reach the city," said the children. "Yes, my friends, onward," said Barry. Barry and the 12 started on their way through the valley, but then, when they were at the center of the valley, Barry stopped. "Why are we stopping?" said Jude. "Something is not right here," said Barry. "I can sense it around us," he continued. Suddenly, heavy nets were thrown at Barry and the children. "It's an ambush," said Barry. "They were waiting for us the entire time." Sidero's men came out from the tall grass. Sidero sat behind them. Sidero laughed evilly. "I finally got you. Put them in the cage in the back of the wagon, so we can put them in the dungeon at my city," he continued. The soldiers put them in the back of the wagon with their hands now bound. Sidero and Hassad and the soldiers took them back to the city and threw them in the dungeon. "You will not get away with this," said Barry and the children. "Oh, but I will," said Sidero. "After I am done with you 13, I will soon begin my greatest rule in Serabia, and no one will be able to stop me," said Sidero. After Sidero left, Barry and the children thought, We have to hope that Johannes and the villagers will get here soon to free us before Sidero rules over all." Chapter 8. It was getting towards night, with the moon coming out. It was a full moon that night at City Dungeon. The children saw Barry a bit sad. "What's wrong?" said Timmy. "Sidero will no doubt go after my home place after he has done here. After he's finished," he answered. "Oakry will soon be in grave danger." "What's wrong with you 12? asked Barry. "Our parents won't make it after they finish building his empire," said the children. Barry said to them, "We must have faith and hope. We will stop them. Like the wise rabbit told me, faith and hope will never let us down. Courage is something we must all carry inside ourselves. You're right, said Timmy and the rest. Suddenly they saw the prison guard fall down unconscious by the cell. What's happening? Said Jude. 20 brown men and women, in city guard uniforms with silver spears and silver round shields came in. Don't worry, friends, said one of them. We're here to help. It was the villagers from the coast. They got their cells unlocked. Thank you, said Barry and the children. You're quite welcome, friends, said the woman, smiling. Now follow us. Johannes, our leader, is waiting for us outside. The rest of the villager troops, said another of the villagers. So they followed them outside, and to their great surprise, Johannes was there with more troops with him. They were more than the emperor's men. I told you we would be there, said Johannes. Thanks, said Barry. Thank me later, my friend, said Johannes. For we must retake the city and free the children's parents. We must retake the city and free them. You, on the other hand, must face the duo, Barry. Johannes gave him a silver bowstaff to fight Sidero. This is the staff of courage and honor, my friend. Have courage and faith in yourself, and you may beat Sidero, said Johannes. All right, said Barry, smiling with confidence. I'm off to face Sidero. Good luck. Johannes, the children, and the villager troops went out to face Sidero's men, while Barry goes to face Sidero. Barry reached the inside of the palace throne room. Sidero, you tyrant, face me, he said. Sidero came out with his scimitar in his hand. Very well, little creature, he replied. May this determine the fate of this land. Chapter 9. Barry and Sidero began their clash. Meanwhile, outside, Assad and all the soldiers of Sidero charged at Johannes and the rest. Charge, Assad, Johannes said to the villagers and the children. Aim for those water pipes so we can advance. The villagers threw their heavy stones at the pipes. The pipes broke and the waters spilled on the Sidero soldiers, making them trip. Advance, said Johannes. Barry's rods clashed with Sidero's weapon while both them fought each other. You will not win, Sidero, said Barry. But I will, he replied. The children got their parents free, and soon they helped fight off the soldiers of Sidero. Heavy fruits were thrown at the soldiers. The villagers let the logs trip Assad and the rest. Assad was beginning to know and understand they could not beat them. They were outnumbered and totally outskilled. More of the troops were being knocked down or seriously bruised. Assad and the soldiers dropped all their weapons and surrendered at the villagers. We surrender, Assad, worried and totally overwhelmed. Hooray, they shouted. Meanwhile, Sidero fought with all his might against Barry. And then he knocked Barry down and raised his weapon to strike. I win, creature. It is over, said Sidero. No, you're wrong. Evil never prevails and is never over, said Barry. Barry used his rod with all his might and broke Sidero's weapon in 3 pieces. Sidero stuttered and fell to his knees. Please don't hurt me, said Sidero. Yield and surrender, said Barry. I do. You win, said Sidero in a big defeat. Later, Sidero and the rest were bound. You and the rest of your men will be sent to a local prison across in the desert. Spend the life in prison, said Johannes to Sidero. Take him away. Sidero's men were sent there and never heard of again. Johannes took place as the new leader of Serabia and promised peace and prosperity for all of Serabia. Everyone cheered, even the children and Barry. Chapter 10. Winter had come in Serabia, and snow covered through Serabia. Ice covered the waters. All the people in Serabia had fun in the snow and were ice skating, and they were all having fun in the season. The children saw Barry with his new air ride being repaired by 3 of the villagers. "Hi, Barry," said the children. Barry smiled and said to the children, "Hi, my friends. Let's talk together on the city bridge," he continued. The children and Barry sat together on the city stone bridge. While watching their parents and the villagers skate on the ice, they talked with Barry. "How about you stay here in Serabia?" asked the children. "We could all be together and have fun." As Barry was watching the skaters, he sighed and smiled at his friends. "I would love more than anything to stay, my friends. But I must go home to Oakery," said Barry, "for I miss my wife and my loved ones so. I bet they are worried about me. That is why I must return to be with my loved ones. I've already helped return peace to this land." "Does this mean we won't see you again?" asked Timmy sadly. The children were sad to hear this. Barry smiled at them to cheer his friends up. "Don't be sad, children," said Barry to them. "One day I will return. I will come back to visit you. Ever since we met, we have become really good friends. Plus, we had a good adventure together." The children looked at Barry and smiled. "Yes, we did become good friends as we met," they said, "and we did have a good adventure together." Barry looked at them with love in his heart. "Children, no matter where I am or where I go, I will never forget you," he said. "I will remember you always. And we shall remember you always as well," said the children. As the snow continued, they went ice skating while remembering the time they had together. They will never forget the friendship and adventure. Chapter 11. After 3 weeks, Barry's ride was finally fixed and ready for takeoff. Johannes, the children, and their parents came to Barry. Barry was loading his things in his air ride. When they came, Barry said to Johannes, "Thank you for your help in fixing my transportation home." "You're welcome, friend," said Johannes. "It is the best we can do for you. We give you our gratitude for helping to restore peace in Serabia," said one of the children's parents. "We thank you and our children for helping all of us." "You're welcome," said Barry. Barry finished loading his things in his ride. Barry started to say goodbye to Johannes, the villagers, and also the children's parents. He then turned to Timmy and the rest of the 11 children. "So this is goodbye," said Timmy. "Yes. Until we meet again," said Barry. "Yes, until we see each other again," said the children, smiling. After giving him a hug and saying goodbye, Barry got on his ride and started to head to his home in Oakery. Everybody, even the children, celebrated and waved goodbye to Barry as he flew towards home. Celebrated in honor of Barry's help of restoring and saving Serabia. They danced and started enjoying the good times once more. The children knew Barry will return someday to visit them. Barry flew across the oceans and waters towards the east. Barry looked for his homeland with his spyglass. Then he spied his home. Barry flew, then started to make his landing in Oakley. He finally reached home when he landed. Barry's wife and his two sons are waiting for him. "Chloe, Joel, Alex, I'm back," said Barry with joy. Barry's family came to him. "Barry, we missed you," said Chloe. "We were worried something happened, Father," said Alex. "Where were you? Where have you been, Dad?" asked Joel. "It's a long story, and I will tell you all about it. Where I've been," said Barry, smiling. "It's good to be home and being together again." Epilogue. So Barry had rejoined his family and friends in Oakley, and the children of Serabia were happy to be with their parents again. Serabia was in joy and peace again and enjoyed the peace and prosperity. But the children and Barry never forget their friendship and adventures together. Their friendship and companionship will live on through the ages. A man of ordinary talent will always be ordinary, whether he travels or not. But a man of superior talent will go to pieces if he remains forever in the same place. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.